Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Vraja Janardana. Yashodanandana Vraja Janardana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Vraja Janardana. Yashodanandana Vraja Janardana. Yashodanandana Vraja Janardana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Sri Radhe. Jaya Radha Madana Mohan Radha Madana Mohan Sri Radhe. Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Sri Radhe. Jaya Radha Gopinatha Radha Gopinatha Sri Radhe. Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Sri Radhe. Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Go Hari Bol. Can I have the Bhagavad Gita, please? Nama Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shimati Gopa Krishna Goswami Tramani Prabhupadasya Sahityam Yapakasha Vidyaja Vacharan Girvan Sadhu Vagatpati Namo Namaha. Nama Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurung Vaisnavamscha Sirupang Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunatan Ditam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadotam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Siradha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Si Viśālaṁ Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dīnabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kipasindubhya evacha patitanang pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Ghaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, most confidential knowledge, chapter 9, text 21. Te tang bhuktvā svarga-lokaṁ viśālaṁ. Kṣīṇe puṇye martya-lokaṁ viśanti. Evam trayī-dharmam anuprapannā. Gata-āgatam kāma-kāmā labhante.
evaṁ bhuktvā svarga-lokam viśālaṁ kṣīṇe puṇye martya-lokam viśanti evaṁ trayī-dharmam anuprapannā gata-āgatam kāma-kāmā labhante.
Somebody else? Oh, it's not there. Give Bhagavad Gita.
evaṁ bhuktvā svarga-lokam viśālam
evaṁ bhuktvā svarga-lokam viśālam
kṣīṇe puṇye martya-lokam viśanti
kṣīṇe puṇye martya-lokam viśanti
evaṁ trayī-dharmam anuprapannā
evaṁ trayī-dharmam anuprapannā
gata-āgatam kāma-kāmā labhante
gata-āgatam kāma-kāmā labhante
evaṁ bhuktvā svarga-lokam viśālam
evaṁ bhuktvā svarga-lokam viśālam
kṣīṇe puṇye martya-lokam viśanti
kṣīṇe puṇye martya-lokam viśanti
evaṁ trayī-dharmam anuprapannā
evaṁ trayī-dharmam anuprapannā
gata-āgatam kāma-kāmā labhante
gata-āgatam kāma-kāmā labhante
evaṁ bhuktvā svarga-lokam viśālam
evaṁ
bhuktvā svarga-lokam viśālam kṣīṇe puṇye martya-lokam viśanti kṣīṇe puṇye martya-lokam viśanti evaṁ trayī-dharmam anuprapannā evaṁ trayī-dharmam anuprapannā gata-āgatam kāma-kāmā labhante gata-āgatam kāma-kāmā labhante.
Mataji. Okay.
evaṁ bhuktvā svarga-lokam viśālam kṣīṇe martya-lokam viśanti
evaṁ trayī-dharmam
anuprapannā
Gata-āgatam kāma-kāmā labhante. Mataji. Anybody? Te tang bhuktvā svarga-lokam viśālam.
kṣīṇe puṇye martya-lokam viśanti evam trayī-dharmam anuprapannā gata-āgatam kāma-kāmā labhante.
Word for word meaning te, day, tam, that, bhuktvā, enjoying, svarga-lokam, heaven, viśālaṁ, vast, kṣīṇe, being exhausted, puṇye, the results of their pious activities, martya-lokam, to the mortal earth, viśanti, fall down, evam, thus, trayī, of the three Vedas, dharmam, doctrines, anuprapannā, following, gata-āgatam, death and birth, kāma-kāmāḥ, desiring sense enjoyments, labhante, attain. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death. Everybody please repeat. When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, to return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death. Purport. One who is promoted to the higher planetary systems enjoys a longer duration of life and better facilities for sense enjoyment. Yet, one is not allowed to stay there forever. One is again sent back to this earth upon finishing the resultant fruits of pious activities. He who has not attained perfection of knowledge, as indicated in the Vedanta Sutra, Janmadi Ashayataha, or in other words, he who fails to understand Krishna, the cause of all causes, becomes baffled about achieving the ultimate goal of life, and is thus subjected to the routine of being promoted to the higher planets, and then again coming down, as if situated on a Ferris wheel, which sometimes goes up and sometimes comes down. The purport is that instead of being elevated to the spiritual world, from which there is no longer any possibility of coming down, one simply revolves in the cycle of birth and death and higher and lower planetary systems. One should better take to the spiritual world to enjoy an eternal life full of bliss and knowledge, and never return to this miserable material existence. Titang bhuktvā svarga-lokam viśālaṁ kṣīṇe puṇye martya-lokam viśanti evam trayī-dharmam anuprapannā gata-āgatam kāma-kāmā labhante. So this is the nature of the material world. We're going up and down, the conditioned souls, traveling to so many planetary systems. It says 14 planetary systems. And then again, 3. It's divided into 3. Upper, middle, and lower planetary systems. That means 7 planetary systems up and 7 planetary systems down. And we are in the middle planetary system, this earthly planet, where there are dualities. In the higher planetary systems, where the living entities reside, they enjoy more pleasure than anywhere else in the 3 planetary systems. Higher because they live for a longer period of time there, and the sense pleasures are far superior. The enjoyment, however, is the same everywhere. You may live a longer period of time in the heavenly planets. As Prabhupada says, there, one day there is 6 months for us. Or one day of Lord Brahma, who lives in the topmost planet, Brahmaloka, is far more. That means different. Time is relative, but the sense pleasure is the same. Or even here in the earthly planet, whether one sleep in a waterbed or one sleeps in a pavement. Sometimes we've seen that, especially in America now, there's city of tents, many places, big cities. People live very, very roughly, but the sense of enjoyment when one sleeps, whether he lives in a big villa, big condominium, full of varieties for luxurious life, it's the same sensation. How about eating? How many chapatis can you eat? Once you're already full, you're full. So one may eat very, very frugally. Sometimes these homeless people also, they only eat whatever they can find in the garbage. And some, they will have 20 cooks cooking for them. But how much can you eat? How much your belly can accommodate? It's the same. Once you're full, you're full. And sometimes even those who are so-called rich people, wealthy people, they cannot eat. Even though they've been provided with so many varieties of flavors or preparations, how much they can eat. Sometimes they will just look at them, taste a little bit, and who will be enjoying? The servants. But at the same time, a homeless person, he may be eating something coming from the garbage, but it's the same thing. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending, same everywhere. In every species of life, regardless wherever they are residing, whether they're in the heavenly planets or here in the earthly planet, middle planetary system, or even in lower species of life. The sense pleasure is the same. However, because we are seeking pleasure, living entities, this is our nature. Our nature is to be happy. Abrahma bhuvana loka punar avartino Arjuna. Even if one lives having the pose of Lord Brahma or a living entity embodied in a microbe, one has to die one day. 311 trillion years Lord Brahma lives. His one day is 4.3 billion. That's 12 hours. And then another 12 hours, 4.3 billion years. 8.6 billion years. That is his one day. And a microbe may take birth, night, and then by daytime, by daylight, sun rises, also dies. Both the same, everyone has to die. So this is the faith. Whether one enjoys in the higher planetary systems or in the lower species of life, everything is always looking for better facilities for sense enjoyment. An ant will be happy to find even few morsels of sugar. He'll be very, very happy. And those who live again in very, very affluent residences, or they live like kings. It's like whenever we travel in North America, we just came from Australia also a couple of weeks ago. The devotees, they live like kings. But they have to work hard for that. So everyone is working hard for a little bit of pleasure. A little bit of pleasure. As Prabhupada would say, it's like a donkey looking for something to eat and carrying a heavy load, not knowing that actually by the side of the road there's a lot of green grasses. But the person who is trying to control the donkey will not feed the donkey and let the donkey knows where are the green grasses. So material nature is like this. And no one stays or no one lives forever. Even Lord Brahma, right now Lord Brahma, he says, is in his middle age. A little bit more than 50 years old. That means he has, another 150, a little bit more, 150 trillion years to go. But still, once the puṇye, once the pious credit is over, he has to die. He has to die also. In the heavenly planets, there are no hospitals. There is no Apollo hospital there. There is no emergency ambulance taking you to the hospital. But eventually, they also get old. Janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi. This is present everywhere. Birth, death, old age, and disease. But their disease, they just like, that's it. They leave their body. There is no heart attack there. I've not heard of it. Or no cancer or something. But here we have also all of this. We all wanted to live forever, but not possible. No one lives here forever. Unless there is a planet within our universe, the pole star, where Dhruva Maharaj, even at the time of annihilation, it will remain. That means Dhruva will be always there. And Vrindavan also. Vrindavan is always there. Sometimes manifest, sometimes unmanifest. But the living entities will come and go to different species of life. 8,400,000 species of life. So this is what you call repeated birth and death. Samsara. Samsara means, in Sanskrit, it means continuous flow. Continuous flow. It's like, time. Time, yes. There is a certain season, it's divided like in America. What? Winter, spring, summer, and fall. So it keeps going. But after fall, winter, spring, summer, fall, what happens after that? Winter again? So similarly, the living entities, they go to different species of life, birth after birth, 8,400,000 species, starting from the aquatics, insects, reptiles, mammals, trees, plants, and then human form of life. And in human form of life, the percentage is not as much as the aquatics. There's only 400,000 species of life. So that's why it says that it is very rare to have this form. And this form is like a clothing. It depends on what activities that we perform and what desire that we have at the time of death that we will attain. Suitable. We will be provided by nature, material energy, to provide us suitable for those activities and what we're thinking at the time of death. This is how Krishna teach us. He says that this material world is like a school. You go to school, and if you do your homework and you study hard, you'll graduate and you'll get your diploma at the end of the year. Then you grow up. You go up and up. You go to level 1, level 2, level 3, then grade 12, and then you go to college, then you go university, then you go PhD. That means, PhD means like you become mature in knowledge. So similarly, this is our nature. We will not get out of this material world not until we pass the final test, which is the time of death. That is the final exam. And here in Vrindavan, again, if we live in Vrindavan, and if we die in Vrindavan, again, we gave that example the other day, one will go back to Godhead, provided though that we did not commit any offenses. And if we commit any offenses, then we'll take birth in animal form, lower species of life. But then again, that will be the last life. Prabhupada says that in the Śrīmad Bhagavatam, the 5th canto. So these monkeys, even at present, the dogs, this is their last life. They'll go back to the spiritual world. Now, how about us? We're given a chance in this human form of life. If one wants to take birth as Lord Brahma, he can have that form. It says in the Shastra that one has to live 100 life of pious activities. 100 lifetimes. Pious. So most, Prabhupada says though, he made a comment, most of my devotees, disciples, they just want to go to svarga-lokaṁ. They just want to go to the heavenly planets to enjoy. Very rare really wants to go back home, back to Godhead, and able to make it to go back to Godhead. If one can go to Vaikuntha Loka, that's a very remarkable fit. Even Vaikuntha, what to say of Goloka? That is more rare to reach Goloka Vrindavan. So this is the cycle of repeated birth and death, unending, because samsara means continuous flow. That means the conditioned souls been wandering since time immemorial, going back and forth again and again into so many species of life in different elevation, in different quarters. That means different forms, And somehow or other, this is considered to be a prison house. The earth also, or the material world is compared to a prison house. So first we compare it to a school. Not until we graduate, we cannot get out. Now, that means if we cannot get out, we're also prisoners, the living entities. Prabhupada gave an example. It's like in a city of Mathura, there are also jails. So the material world is like a jailhouse. It's like a prison house. And we're thinking we are majority. Yeah? Actually, the majority is in the spiritual world. Prabhupada says more than 90% of the living entities are in the spiritual world. Less than 10% are here in the material world. And we're thinking that, oh, we're getting overpopulated. Why? Because we all go to the cities where money is. There's a lot of vacant places, vacant locations. But where do we all congregate? In the cities, because that's where the employment, that's where the money is, and that's where the rat race is. Everyone is in the rat race. And Prabhupada also, says like that. Less than 10% of the living entities are in the material world. That is like in the prison house or in a jail in the city, less percentage are in the jail. But we are also, even though they're right there, they say in the city, but everyone still are not free. Not free from the material sufferings and miseries. Sufferings coming from our body. That includes the mind especially. A person who is sick is always thinking, I am sick, even though he's not sick. Disease actually comes from the mind. So mental sickness, bodily concept of life. There is also miseries, sufferings that we receive from natural calamities, cyclones. It's like Mauritius, they have cyclones. Or in Australia, when we were there was a cyclone. Everything stopped. In Brisbane, it was in Brisbane. Uber, everything is flooded, everything. They cannot move. It'll take some weeks, even months, to recover. What do you call this? Torpedoes. Yes? Cyclones, hurricanes. Now summer is coming up. This is also miserable. We're just almost in the end of March. Yes? Just be here in the month of May and June. Not many devotees are able to stay here. Those who are like really seasoned devotees, they will stay here. And they will continue to cook in Radharani's kitchen. Even though it's so hot. Can you feel the heat right now? I can feel this afternoon. The wind touches the face. And it's only March, okay. Almost April now. It'll go up to 49 degrees. 45 is normal during summertime here. So that's miserable, isn't it? You know where is the hottest place on earth? According to NASA. Well, one time, it was registered that the hottest place on earth is in Govardhan. It is part of Rajasthan. Rajasthan means desert, right? Not in Saudi Arabia no. Govardhan Hill. So, but devotees tolerate that. They can tolerate because of their service towards the Supreme Lord. Their calamities, yes. there are also miseries that's caused by higher living entities. But nevertheless, the whole world is full of miseries and sufferings. This is dukkhalayam asasvatam. It's guaranteed. Prabhupada says there's like a stamp. Material world is like when you send a letter, but in those days, they do it sometimes, but usually now, normally, they will send emails. But in those days, they put envelope, put a stamp, and then when it goes to the post office, and they will say, receive. Similarly, there is a stamp. The material world stamp is dukkhalayam asasvatam. It's full of miseries because it is temporary. So the jivas, the living entities, go back and forth into so many species of life in different planetary systems because of its past karma. That means the reaction. Karma means the law of nature. For every action, there is an equal or opposite reaction. And ultimately, because of our attachments, that's why we are here. We're attached to this body, or extension of our body, family members, or to our position, or to our wealth. Bhagavad Gita says that through constant practice and detachment, one can be relieved from the cycle of repeated birth and death. One can go back home, back to Godhead. Through constant practice. What is that constant practice? Yes, Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is the only way how we can become relieved from the cycle of repeated birth and death. Srimad Bhagavatam says, people do not see the reality of repeated birth and death. This is from the 5th canto, chapter 5, text 8. They remain absorbed in sense gratification, even though it leads them to suffering. The moment that we want to be happy materially, pleasure, to enjoy the sense objects with our senses, that is the beginning of our suffering. Because we cannot fully. How can we satisfy the soul, our soul? How can our soul be satisfied with material pleasure? It's not possible. It's not possible. It's not possible. So this is what the Srimad Bhagavatam says. Yes. So the Puranas, they present a profound understanding of why samsara exists. It is the result of our past actions, karma, and it is influenced by time, kala, and material nature. So these are all interactions. Karma, kala, and prakriti. Because conditioned souls are under the jurisdiction of material energy, sometimes we're in the mood of goodness, sometimes in the mode of passion, sometimes in the mode of ignorance. But nowadays, mostly passion and ignorance. That's why Prabhupada says, at least we should come to the platform of mode of goodness. Because that is the stepping stone to be in the mode of pure goodness. Vishuddha Sattva. Yes. And as long as we are continuously and remaining forgetful of Krishna, and this is our main disease, Prabhupada says, our main disease is that we have forgotten Krishna. It's like having amnesia. Is that what it's called? Amnesia? It's a disease of forgetfulness. Or sometimes, there's another disease now called that you cannot even recognize. If you have this disease, you cannot even recognize your father, your mother, your relatives, your friend. Dementia?
Forgetfulness.
Yeah, yes, dementia. Yes. We have one Prabhupada, I forgot now also. There is one Prabhupada disciple who's here now. And he cannot even recognize his own god sister. And they were together 50 years ago, serving Srila Prabhupada here in Krishna Balaram Mandir. So this is the nature of the soul, being embodied in this material form. Even though the soul is full of knowledge, bliss, and eternity, but when we become embodied, but nevertheless, again, Krishna never forgets his devotees. He may not remember other devotees. This devotee was having this dementia. But at the time of death, Krishna will make an arrangement for him to remember Krishna. Never goes in vain. Everything that we've done for the Lord and His devotees is eternally credited towards us. So, it's very, very tough for him. So it says here, the Vishnu Purana states that samsara exists to purify the soul. Again, it's a learning ground. Everything has a purpose. One may say, why Krishna put us in this condition? Why Krishna let it be that we are in the mode of ignorance and passion? Why not pure goodness immediately? So that we learn. We learn from our mistakes. It's all right to commit mistakes, but don't repeat it again. And the problem is we keep on repeating again and again. Not until we meet a pure devotee, then we'll be reminded of the pure devotee, our main purpose why we are here in this world. So we're very fortunate, especially you coming to Bhagavad Gita classes every day. This will help us to remind our main purpose why we are here. It was the Garuda Purana that explains that life is like a school. So our original position is that we are spiritual sparks. We got nothing to do in this material world, but somehow we are here. Because we wanted to be happy, separate from Krishna. So Krishna, okay, here's the material world. You cannot be happy separate from me in the spiritual world. You can only be happy separately in the material world. But that is not really happiness. One day we will realize that without Krishna, we cannot be happy. It's not possible. It's not possible without Krishna. That's why Prabhupada, he gave us everything, all the facilities for us to remember Krishna. 24 hours. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Kirtanaya Sadahari, chant continuously. So if you're thinking of Krishna continuously, then there is no room for Maya. Again, forgetfulness of Krishna is our main disease. So, what shall we do now? We have to be sincere in our practice of bhakti. We have to become mature in our execution of bhakti. We should learn how to serve those who are devotees, serving the Lord. If we learn how to serve the Lord's devotees, then Krishna will recognize us immediately. give Krishna to others. It says that in Bhagavad Gita. There is no more dear to me than those who give this knowledge to others. We should learn from the advanced devotees how to execute bhakti without self-interest, without motivation for our own, without any self-agenda. Our agenda should be only to serve. So like I was reading one of the devotees. Bhakti means you ask for more service. And more service. And more service. That is bhakti. Bhakti is the only way. It is the ticket, the only ticket for our way out of this material world. There's no karma, cannot do that. Karma yoga, jnana yoga, no. Not possible. Only bhakti yoga. So, this is the science of karma or samsara. Karma, we mentioned karma, samsara, and how we can get out of this material world. Okay? I will stop here now. Is there any questions or any points that you may have? Prabhuji, yes, yes.
Prabhuji, you mentioned about manifest Vrindavan. Can you hear me?
Yes.
You mentioned about manifest Vrindavan and unmanifest.
Unmanifest and manifest, yeah.
So manifest Vrindavan is this and unmanifest Golok.
No, right now Krishna is still here. He never leaves Vrindavan, even one step outside of Vrindavan. But only those who are pure in their heart, they can see Krishna. It's like, what, 500 years ago? 500 years ago, the 6 Goswamis, they had darshan of Lord Krishna, or Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Even though Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is gone, left, he wound up his pastimes. Sometimes Lord Chaitanya will come because of their purity. The Chidadahi festival, Raghunath Das Goswami. So even nowadays, right now, see, right now it's like unmanifest because of the exploitation of so many greedy people. So many buildings rising almost every day. Well, you go a little bit in many places still. It's like we went to Parikrama the other day in Biharvan. You will not hear this honking of vehicles, no noise pollution there. All you will hear are the peacocks. Peacocks are everywhere. Usually, maybe 30 years ago, there's so many peacocks here. Now it's rare that you will find one peacock. So one may say, where is Vrindavan? I don't see Vrindavan. But still, there are some places where it's easier to be Krishna conscious, so to speak. But here, only if you are within the 4 walls of Krishna Balaram Mandir, then it's easier to think of Krishna. As soon as you get out, I might get hit by a tom-tom, or there's so much noise, so much pollution. That's what I mean by unmanifest. But for a pure devotee, this will not bother them. It's like right now, you cannot move in the temple. You go on a parikrama marg of the temple, right here. But to get here, it takes me, like quite some time. But, before pandemic, we were so peaceful here, so to speak. You go to Yamuna, so peaceful. But now, which is good, so many people are coming. At least they're getting purified. But not everyone who comes here, they have pure desire to be a pure devotee. Many comes in different purposes, Bhagavad Gita says also. So they don't see Vrindavan, not until they take up the process of bhakti. Yes? Yes, sir.
Maharaj, you mentioned that it takes 100 lifetimes to go to the planets.
Yeah, of continuous pious activities like feeding the poor, giving them shelter. This is pious. This is for fruitive gain. Bhakti also is pious activities. But that is spiritual pious activities. Like the cowherd boys, they attain that privilege to play with Krishna in equal level. Kita punya punja, because they accumulated many pious credits, many lifetimes of pious activities. But that is bhakti. Okay, building hospitals, feeding the poor, or digging wells, so that, people or pilgrims, they will have water to drink. These are also pious activities.
But Maharaj, in Bhakti, how do we know whether we are advancing or not? Because in Bhakti also this to and fro happens.
Huh?
So here, like, we go to the heavenly planets, we do some gratification, we come back.
Mm-hmm.
Even in Bhakti, there are stages like gata-āgatam, where we experience sometimes bliss and sometimes we are covered with coverings.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we know that we are advancing?
But Bhagavatam says that when you are hungry and you eat, you can tell when your hunger is being satiated, your stomach is becoming full, and you're gaining strength. If you're hungry, you're weak and empty stomach. So when you do bhakti properly, then you'll become happy inside. You'll be joyfully performing, not grudgingly. Not if someone tells you, Prabhuji, can you pick this garbage? Why are you picking? Why are you asking me? There's so many devotees here, you can ask. Why me? I'm chanting my rounds, can't you see? Well, that's why we chant. We ask for service. Right? So if someone asking you, Prabhuji, don't disturb me. Don't ask me for anything. Okay, I'm chanting. I don't know if that chanting is working or not. And others will see whether you're advancing or not. You're not involved in any prajalpa. You just mind your business. That means you just mind your service. All the good qualities of the demigods will manifest. You're truthful, you're kind, you're compassionate. If you keep on lying and criticizing, I don't think your application of bhakti is the right way. And people or devotees can see whether you're a liar, you're a cheater, all of these things. He cannot hide. Krishna consciousness means open book. Mataji.
It was in the 60s in New York on Broadway. There was a play,
Mm.
very appropriate for this class. It was called Stop the World, I Want to Get Off.
Stop the world.
I want to get off.
I want to get off.
Yeah. So that's the mentality now. It's so bad that people just say, can't I just get off? Can't just stop? But it doesn't. It's worse and worse. Like, go to campus and people come up and say, do you have a book on anxiety?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm giving this girl a book, and all of a sudden another person on the other side comes and goes, how many books on anxiety? I mean, at the same time, and then they start talking about all medicines that are on.
That's the number one prescribed medicine doctors give at least in North America, is how to release the patient from anxiety, yes, from pain. I know some devotees, they cannot go. He's taking this medicine prescribed for anxiety, and he cannot go up. He cannot make advancement. Yes, Mataji? Yeah. Number one prescribed medicine, maybe in the world. Psychologists, psychiatrists, they're good to be a psychiatrist this way, a psychologist. But, why carry that burden? Yeah, if you're anxiety-free, read Bhagavad Gita to be anxiety-free. Yes? Study Bhagavad Gita. There is the answer. Okay, so we stop here. Thank you, Mataji, for that comment. Srila Prabhupada ke Nitai Gaur Sitanat Premanande Hari Hari Bo.